There's a difference between hard. I mean, I would argue, I've done most of the Hardrock course, and this was like my 5th Hardrock qualifier, and I've paced at Mogian. This was just like next level, like stupid.
Was it?
Like it was, I would argue this is harder than Hardrock. Like,
I was like riding right behind Sierra, and I'm like, she's wearing her headphones. She doesn't even hear me. And so like 3 miles to go, I like came up right behind her, and I was like not feeling good. And I was like, do you pass her? And I was like, yes, full send. So getting into tech, moving to San Francisco, and I was miserable. And I was like, how do I get out of this? And that dream of through hiking like was just definitely there.
Welcome to our Meet the Team podcast. It is your host. I'm Heidi Allen.
I'm Bryce Brooks.
And we have Sierra DeGraph and Joe Boucher on here with us today. Also, I said your last name right.
You did. Yeah,
okay.
That's it.
Perfect. I always, you read it in your head all the time, but I've never said it aloud. So I just realized I probably should have checked. Glad I got it right.
Just
Nailed
like Bobby.
You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us. We're really excited to talk about both each of you guys and your running careers individually and also together. Bryce was telling me that you guys often get pretty competitive with each other, which is really fun. So I guess we'll just kick off. You guys just recently ran Wyoming 100. So we kind of want to hear how that race went and how you're feeling now. And then Sierra specifically, if you want to talk about Wyoming in conjunction with all your other adventures this summer, that'd be great.
Yeah. I guess I can start us off on just how we found out about the race. We have a fellow runner in Las Vegas, John Willman, and this was his 3rd year going out to Wyoming, and he's been encouraging us and nudging us to do this race. And so finally we both signed up, and we're like, well, if we're doing it, let's do it together. And so it's a Hardrock qualifier. It's out in the Wyoming range, which is south of the Grand Tetons, west of the Winds. So it's kind of, I think it's the Bridger Teton area. And I had never been out there. So it was partially for the racing, partially for the Hardrock qualifier. But for me, it was just to explore, to see that new range. So it was really cool. It was a little longer than 100. It was 106 miles and like 25,000 feet of climbing, which for Hardrock qualifiers, like it's a lot, but it's not crazy. But we both kind of found it to be pretty challenging as far as a race, just the technicality. It's very remote. And so like the treads were more uneven than we thought. The final climbs were harder than we expected. But we both stuck it out. It did end up being like that, for me at least, that very cool adventure. I know for Sierra, maybe it was a little different of an experience because I came in relatively fresh. I had done San Diego 100 mile area 1st of June. And so I had a few months of like preparing just for Wyoming. So I was pretty fresh. But Sierra's experience, I think, was a little different because she had a big summer. So
No kidding.
Yeah. Sierra, tell us what you had leading up to it and how that impacted Wyoming.
Yeah, so I didn't necessarily plan this all out to be this way because I wanted it to be this way, but I got into Western States, so that took me like 7 years to get into that race. So I had to do that. Not that I didn't want to, but that was, on the schedule. And then one of my main sponsor, Mount Coast, they were headlining Badwater this year. So that was like a strongly encouraged race to do. And, Billy Yang's going to be coming out with a movie on the Mount Coast girl athletes from that race as well.
Oh,
so,
sweet.
I mean, and not to mention, I really like that race. So it's like, well, don't twist my arm. Like, I guess,
have you ran that race twice now, or
that was my third?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
So yeah, I think it would have been fine if it would have been the normal like 2 week gap, because like everybody else who's done the double basically had like a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks in between, because Chris will change Badwater based on the full moon schedule. So I got unlucky in the sense where it was like 8 days apart as opposed to 2 weeks. And that does make a ton of difference. Like I did 300s in 2022 that were all 2 weeks apart. And I didn't think it was a big deal at all, because I feel like by week 2, you're like mostly recovered unless you screw anything up major. But yeah, the fatigue was still there leading into the second one. And I guess it just like kicked in sooner than it would have had I have not just done Western. And, you know, my quads were okay, believe it or not, because I wasn't really doing downhill at Badwater, but my toenails and toes were all messed up from all the downhill. And luckily Badwater doesn't have a ton of downhill, but you know, just having the feet be wet nonstop, like that was kind of terrible.
That was like one element of the race. So there was like over 100 creek crossings in the Wyoming range. And so you were just like contending with water crossings day and night. And it was a day and night experience too.
Yeah.
What's the cutoff for that race?
Which one? Wyoming?
Wyoming, yeah.
48 hours.
Okay. Yeah. So, and what was your time finishing? How long were you guys out there? Did you guys run it together the whole time, or did you guys
run races together? No,
we don't. That's where that competition comes in. But I finished in the 37-hour range, and I actually did end up meeting my friend John, and we actually ran the back half together. So I do run with people. It's just Sierra and I didn't connect for this race.
As soon as you said John recommended it, I knew it was probably really hard.
Yeah, we're both questioning his sanity.
Well,
that's fair.
There's a difference between hard. I mean, I would argue, I've done most of the Hardrock course, and this was like my 5th Hardrock qualifier, and I've paced at Mogian. This was just like next level, like stupid.
Was it?
Like it was, I would argue this is harder than Hardrock. Like, and I ran with a lady who did Hardrock like 2 years ago, and she was like, this is harder. Like,
why?
It's more remote. It's more technical. I mean, if you look at the finishing times, it like speaks for itself. I mean, the winner was like 28 hours. Yeah. And that was a male, you know, like I don't know. I mean, it was just like, not just a couple things where you're like, what the heck? It was like thing after thing after thing after thing. And I'm like, I don't know if there was one climb that wasn't crappy in a certain regard. Like, I mean, you're just suffering like the whole time and nothing's runnable. So if you like running, don't go run that race or hike that race.
How many toenails have you lost, Sierra, in like the past month?
2.
Okay.
Both big ones. And they were like holding on for dear life. Like you could tell they were like black underneath or bloody. And I went to go get them done after Wyoming, and I had done 300s and not had them done, which is insane. And she's just sitting there like, oh my God, like, how do we not have this happen again? I'm like, I can't run Western States for a little bit. Like, I have to not do that race.
Ladies like painting your toes, just like wonder what you're doing.
It hurts too. Like, I mean, I had to take like ibuprofen to just not be like, ow, 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 like every single step, you know, because it's, even though they're mostly detached, they're still like hurting you. Like, I don't
pressure.
Yeah. I understand why like Tara gets hers removed. Like,
that's what I was gonna say. Well, would you ever consider that? Would you ever consider? No.
No, because since I've not had them, I went up to Mount Charleston and I have other issues happening where I get like blistering in weird areas and like a blister where the toenail should be. Like, it's just new issues. I don't know.
Have you always had issues with blisters, or like what's your best trick to remedy them?
I don't normally have issues with blisters. I just don't have toenails right now. So, I mean, my feet look pretty good after Western. Like, people were looking at them, they're like, man, it looks like you just got a pedicure. Like, nobody could tell they were all messed up. But yeah, now they look messed up. So
I think if I remember at the end of Western, you were like, there's definitely a blister on the bottom of my foot. And we like pull her sock off. And it was like perfectly looking foot, you know, like nothing was there. But
you're just wet. All three of those races, it was like water, water, water. Like Western, you're dumping water in yourself. You're in the Rucky Chucky. Badwater, you're wet the whole time. Wyoming, you're going through creeks the whole
Crossing
time.
creeks.
So, yeah.
Do you put like a change of socks in all your drop bags to try to like combat that, or what's your strategy there?
Yeah, and the thing I think helped the most this year, this guy I met at I Am Tough, like back in 2020, I randomly saw him at mile 64 of Wyoming, and he like helped me with my feet. And he had this salty, I think it's Salty Britches is the brand, and it's in the black container. And you put that stuff on as kind of like a repellent. And I had like something that looked like a crack in the bottom of my foot at Wyoming, and he put that on, and it was like super glue. Like nothing kind of got under it, nothing continued the hurt and the destruction. So I'm saying that's good. Yeah.
Interesting. What do you call it? Salty Britches?
I think it's Salty Britches is the brand. Like, yeah, it's like the black container though, because they have a different one too. You can get it on Amazon.
That's really cool. How are you guys both doing recovery wise after it, and what's next?
Well, we went on our morning like neighborhood loop run, and we have very measured loops around our neighborhood. So this morning was 8 miles for myself. Sierra was like 12 miles. So she 10. So you did some pre-miles. I think I recover slower than Sierra. So I still actually even feel some leg fatigue in my legs even a couple weeks after. So I'm just easing back into it. I'm trying not to put like any time or speed pressure on runs. So I'm just, I always eat well, but I'm especially like taking my time, like eating big meals, getting a little extra sleep, drinking a lot of water. But yeah, I'm still kind of bouncing back.
Makes sense.
I feel fine. I had my first speed workout yesterday, like since pre-Western.
Yeah, I saw
and
that.
I think I'm just really motivated. Like I had a challenging time accepting my results, being that I did 3 races all so close together that were very demanding, I guess, if you will, in different ways. I burnt the candle a little too low. So I'm inspired to like have a new training cycle and get faster again. And we have I have some shorter stuff for me coming up this fall. Like we're doing Mammoth 26K, and then I've St. George Marathon again. And I did sign up for JFK. So I'm really looking forward to focusing on some speed and all that good stuff. So
yeah, that'll be really exciting. I saw you signed up for JFK, so that'll be a really exciting one. And it's a little bit different than all these other races that you've been doing. I think those ones are very like mountainous, and that one's a really fast race.
I think I'm really leaning into that because Lake Warmuck went really well. And I think with my time at that, ultimately I'd like to try to get on the 100K USA team.
Yep.
So just, focusing on my strengths, I think I have my best bet at like that distance at this point, especially on something runnable. It should be really exciting to see how that goes. So.
Do you feel similar, Joe, as far as like switching it up and going for a little bit more speed work? Because like earlier in the year, you ran a blistering 50K out there at Lake Warmuck. How do you say it?
Like Warmuck.
Warmuck? I'm not sure.
It has a G on it, so
yeah, it's a little tricky.
Yeah, Sierra was doing the 100K, so I wasn't committed for an early season 100K, so I jumped in the 50K, and I told myself, this is just like a marathon, just a little longer. And so yeah, it played out pretty well. I tried to like think of it as a marathon, just like a little bit longer, right? But fueling and everything. So it was fun to I never done a loop flat ultra. So that was my first like flat ultra. I always do like steep ultras. And so it was cool to like see like, oh, you can go faster, like, and you don't totally blow up. So
yeah,
it was fun to like be on that last lap and being like, oh, I can go under, 4 hours or whatever the time goal for the day was. So it was fun. It was cool.
Do you guys? So yeah, you guys have thrown down like a few times in the past year. Specifically, like out here in Arizona, I remember following along. So you guys came out for Hangover night runs last year in September, 25K. That was close, and I'm pretty sure Sierra had the victory by a little bit. And then it went the other way at Tucson Marathon, which was just like a few months later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that was shoe related, though.
Oh, yeah.
I wore a
If we
carbon
did a
plated
new-
shoe.
If we did a new race with my new Mount Coast carbons, I think I could do better.
So, Joe, are you going to race the St. George Marathon then and put that to the test?
No,
No.
I almost need to just so then we can find out.
Yeah, I think we need to test it.
No, technically speaking, if we don't count Revel courses, I do have the faster non-Revel marathon time, and I am a female. So
See, what makes it so good is like we're pretty similar, especially on like road flat courses. And so like it is kind of a toss up a lot of times where like Hangover, like I remember I was like riding right behind Sierra and I'm like, she's wearing her headphones. She doesn't even hear me. And so like 3 miles ago, I like came up right behind her and I was like not feeling good. And I was like, do you pass her? And I was like, yes, full send. So 3 miles out, I like pass her and I just like immediately blow up. That's like bad racing advice, which is like, I should have like been more tactical, right? And just like she couldn't hear me. She was listening to headphones. I should have just like trailed her with like the finish line in sight and then just gunned it. But I passed, and then that turned on Sierra's competition brain, and she just like destroyed me.
I wasn't worried about what you were doing at all.
See,
She
she was
think you
just
can
locked
beat
in.
me? Watch this.
I mean, I just was running with my headphones on. Like, I wasn't like, I mean, he went out stupid fast with the other two. I think it was like 3 or 4 people in front of me. So I was like, whatever, they can have fun with that. I
So
don't
who's
race short stuff very often. So Mammoth is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I was going to say, who has the edge there?
I have no idea. I'm not really doing any more trail junk either, unless it's desert running. I'm like, I'm done with the mountains. Like, don't ask me to go run in the mountains anymore this year.
I mean, I'm going to promote myself. I think I have the edge in Mammoth just because of the trail. Like, if it's like more technical, like I'm more of a risk
I don't
taker.
think it's going to be technical. When have you? I just ran out in Mammoth.
I've never run out in Mammoth.
It's pretty nice trails. I mean, if it's
Yeah.
the trails around the mountain, I think they're mostly dirt, and it's not even like our trails are more technical than their trails, but they have a lot of climbing.
Oh, see, that's not good for me.
And the altitude.
I was out there
I've
last
already
year.
been there a
and
week
smooth.
when we
It's
run
not
it.
lucky. Yeah.
Because we'll be at the 200 too. We're helping out Tara, so we'll stay the whole week.
Sweet. That'll be fun. First year 200. You guys are like on the cutting edge of it. Like I'm excited to see it play out because nobody has an edge, right? Like it's not like Cocodona where it's been going on for a few years at this point. Like it's pretty level playing field.
I'm pretty good friends with like what I would say is going to be the top 3 females too. So it's interesting. I'm like, I texted one of them, like Chrissy, and I'm like, don't hate me. I'm helping Tara. And then, like, I haven't told Rachel yet. So she'll be fine. I'm like, Rachel doesn't use pacers or anything anyways. So she doesn't need me.
Yeah. They're all pretty experienced. It's pretty, I mean, especially for a first year 200, like it's a stout field, like both men and women's.
Yeah. And there's some first timer 200 people too that I'm like, they're probably still going to do really well, but we just haven't seen it yet.
So the way it's going to work out is there's the Mammoth Trail Fest and then the 200 starts after
next weekend.
The next weekend.
Friday,
Okay.
yeah.
Got it. So there's like a week apart, which will be out with Mountain Outpost live streaming. I want to see both of those. So we'll be watching from afar.
Yeah.
Don't
you guys
catch any of our bad moments. Just kidding.
You've done some commentating though with the live stream. Are there any plans to be on the live stream in the future or at Mammoth?
Sure. I mean, I don't mind talking. Like I feel funny when I'm like, I do multiple podcasts in a short time frame because I feel like I'm talking about the same thing and people are going to get bored. But yeah, I mean, I had fun doing it at Cocodona, and I'll be out at Javelina pacing as well. So I guess I'm available when I'm not pacing and helping there. But I'm helping someone who I definitely need to be available for. So
Yeah, fair.
glad I'm not racing this year. Maybe we'll come back to that one, but it's more fun pacing.
It's a hot race. But you guys also live in Vegas, so I think you're probably well adapted to heat and training there, right?
I like hot.
What is
JFK is going to be cold.
Oh, yeah, it's true. Well, I mean, you guys have, I mean, especially like preparing for something like Mammoth, I feel like you guys hit Charleston pretty regularly. Like it's, I don't know how high Mammoth is, but I know that Charleston's
8
up
to
there.
9.
Yeah.
Like everywhere.
Yeah, Charleston, our little Spring Mountains, our range, it's about 45 minutes from our house in Las Vegas. And the high point gets to 11,900 feet. And
Yeah.
you
Yep.
can definitely get some great mountain training. It's our little secret that maybe is not a huge secret anymore, but you could definitely train for mountain races. And it's a nice change. So like the summer months, the whole trail running community kind of like migrates up to Charleston for long runs because it'll be 110 in the valley, which is brutal, right, for a long run. So we'll go up to Charleston and it'll be like 85. And if you start early in the morning, it could be like 65. And then you go summit, it's cool at the very top. And yeah, it makes training in the summer like way easier here. Just the temps.
That's so nice that you can get like the best of both worlds in Vegas. And I feel like not many people probably realize that you guys have mountains out there.
No, they don't.
I think it was 2 winters ago. We had some good snows, enough to where I skied up like halfway up our little like mountainside, and I like chickened out because I don't ski regularly because I'm in Vegas, and so I was like, I can't ski down this, so I like stopped like halfway up with my friend, and we called it. But you can even like there's a mini ski resort up there too, where they make snow, and I don't get a pass because I went one time, and you can just nose dive it down in like 20 seconds. So it's a super short run, but the backcountry is like just an interesting experience up there because not many people even attempt it.
That's cool.
For
Yeah,
sure.
I remember Pete came out, maybe it was like a year or 2 years ago, and he was coming out from Flagstaff and hoping to escape winter weather, and then he comes out there and gets hit by a snowstorm in Vegas.
It was like a huge snowstorm. So we're running up at Charleston, just like getting blasted.
Nobody
with
really
snow.
does Charleston runs in the winter, though. I mean,
fair.
Because it gets cold. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it's full. It's a full mountain, even though like it's kind of a summery place, Las Vegas. So you'd think, oh, I don't need a rain jacket, but it hails. It's like, full thunderstorms with huge winds. So it is a mountainous region. So you gotta be prepared.
For sure. How long have you guys been in Vegas now? How long have you
I've been in Vegas since 2016, and Joe.
I moved COVID
21.
year. Wasn't it?
You moved 2021.
2021. Okay, so yeah, it's almost 5 years.
And how did you guys, I guess we're kind of backtracking a little bit, but you guys, how did the two of you meet? Bryce was telling me that you guys, Joe, you were on the team first, and then Sierra, but you guys have been together prior to that.
Yes. So I was living up in Reno, Nevada, and a friend of, actually, I wasn't even friends with him yet, but
how did he know about
George,
you then?
no, George is who invited me. Anyways, it was a trail run. It was a group trail run.
You were friends with George.
I was friends with George. He invited me, and then Sierra was there for Sam's 40th.
Maya's boyfriend. It was his 40th birthday, and he got a house in South Lake Tahoe, and we were going to do 40 miles on the TRT. And George invited Joe, because George didn't even end up running with us, which was silly, but he's like, hey, like, you want to come run with these people that are doing this run? And Joe already had a race that day, so he couldn't do the whole thing, but he met us like halfway and ran 20 miles or something.
Yeah, I met them at Spooner Lake, and I brought In-N-Out because I was like, well, these are ultra runners. So I brought them some In-N-Out French fries, and hamburgers. And that's when I first met Sierra, Maya. Like, yeah, it was a cool first meeting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't know hardly anybody in that community at that point. George used to live in Vegas, and George moved to Reno because he's a professional gambler. So that is how we have the mutual connection. And George is also a runner. And it's funny because he's like a real big guy, but like he's thrown down some ridiculous times where you're like, what the heck? Like Boston Marathon qualifier, like 15-hour at Never Summer. And if you looked at him, he's like over 200 pounds, like Clydesdale runner. I don't know, but he's funny too. If he's a good guy to have a beer with. But yeah,
like,
that's how we met, through George. It's all because of him.
You guys have a pretty cool trail running community out in Vegas. Like, and you guys have quite a few group trail runs that I see you guys participating in on like a regular basis. Is one of them See You Next Tuesday? Or is that is that what the name of the group? That's you?
That I started that run.
Like, oh, sweet.
Cool.
Yeah, I didn't name it, but I started.
Who named it then? You created it, but who made the name?
Ron Hammett, who used to live here, who doesn't anymore. He moved to Florida. He's been around. I think he did Cocodona a year or two ago, and he's done Hardrock. We called him like I call him the ex-mayor of Vegas because he's like done all the races. He's like 50 something and just been around the block for a while. So cool dude. We'll miss him, but he moved to Florida.
We even have routes named after Ron, like a Ronathon, which is a marathon route. So, but yeah, See You Next Tuesdays are like Tuesday group run that we kind of like lead up. And then, yeah, there's a lot of different running groups. We're kind of like any city, right? Like we're on the west side, but then we have the southeast side, Henderson, and they have some great trails out there. So we've got good groups in Henderson. And then, like I said, wherever you are, we kind of like all meet up during the summer up at Charleston. That's kind of like a summer meetup place for all the trail groups. And a lot of it is like out and back stuff. So we joke, like we make guesses how many people we're going to know. We're like, I'm going to see 20 people I know today on the trails. So that's really fun.
Yeah, I know. It's always fun seeing. And Maya Detmer, she was on our podcast earlier. She's part of the Las Vegas crew. And you guys did a really cool race a couple months ago. It was like the Snowshoe race in Utah.
Yeah.
Have you guys done snowshoe races like that before? Or was that your first one?
I've been going to that race. Like originally it was myself and one of my friends from back in Toledo who lives in Salt Lake now. We started going, I think it was like years ago. I don't even remember. So it was me and her, and she had a really bad rock climbing accident, unfortunately. So she probably can't even do that anymore. So eventually it transitioned to her, this other Rachel girl from Vegas, myself, and Maya. And then I don't know, people kind of fall out of touch. And then it was just me and Maya, and then the boys ended up coming. And
yeah, it was a girls' trip I think like 5 years ago.
It was just for
but then
girls
we started coming too.
Boys crashing the party.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a good race though. John puts on a lot of good Salt Lake area, like formerly Squaw Peak 50 miler. Now I think it's like Key Peak or Snow Peaks. I think
Peaks
they had
50.
to change the name. Yeah. So that's a really good race. And he also does, gosh, what's the other one? I don't think it's Cuyahoga.
He has another one called Kachina Mosa.
Kachina Mosa, yeah. The
Yeah.
100K. I haven't done the 100K, but I've done the 50 miler, and it's really good. He's a cool dude. He's ran so many marathons. He's ran a ton of Aravaipa races too. I mean, I've seen him out there. Like he was at Across the Years. I
remember he did Jackpot like 2 years ago, and that's when I first met him.
He's a talker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that like your first experience snowshoeing, or did you have previous experience, I guess, for both of you?
I had cross country skied, and like I bought snowshoes when I came to Vegas because we have Mount Charleston, but I don't know, it was probably one of the first times.
I had only hiked in snowshoes before, and so I remember like hearing about this, and so like I think I bought some like small snowshoes just to race, and then I was like, what is this? And so then I just remember like one year, because usually we kind of do it for fun, so we might like drink a beer, then go out for a snowshoe lap or
Sure.
something.
You
But
don't. You
well,
try to race.
the last 2 years,
We do it for fun.
the last
He
2
does
years I
not.
was like, I'm gonna race this thing, and so no beers until after, and put on the super light snowshoes, and like, yeah, it's actually really fun. We've experienced it where it's like a blue sky day, and you're just running on this like nicely groomed like snow track, and so that's really fun because it feels fast. But then we've also experienced it where like you're wearing like
Blizzard.
snow goggles, and it's just like snow in your face as you're just like chugging along, and you can't see very far ahead of you. So that's its own little experience too.
Joe, when you did the PCT, did you bring snowshoes?
I did not.
They might have helped, yeah, because some of the stories I've heard are pretty insane.
I think I was fortunate enough. If you hit the right weather years, folks might use snowshoes like in Washington if they're late in the season and they start getting
Okay.
snowed.
Gotcha.
But I was going northbound, so Washington didn't hit any snow at the end of the season, so I kind of like lucked out. It does start to get cold at the end of like a big hike like that, so you might start hiking with a mid layer because it starts getting cold. Like I remember one of my final weeks in Washington hiking. I was like, it was raining all day, and I had to just keep hiking because, like, if you stop, you get that like shiver going, and there's nowhere to get warm, so you just like have to keep hiking or immediately like set up your tent and get in your sleeping bag. So those are like your only options. It's just like hike more or get in your sleeping bag. So
Sierra, have you ever backpacked, or is that something that is on your list to do?
I don't really like carrying a ton of stuff. I've done like a backpacking trip where we did a overnight permit to go up Whitney and stay
Oh,
at
cool.
the lake and then go the rest of the way and then come down. I mean, I don't know if it's just like bad. Like I had a Gregory pack and I had stuff I thought was good for what I was doing, but I had like welts on my back and my back hurt. I mean, I have back problems not backpacking. If I run a marathon with a naked belt, I have like back pain. Like I I don't think it's really the thing for me. I mean, I don't hate the idea of it, but I'm
Yeah.
more of like the soft rock sort
That's what I
of
was about to
traveling.
say.
I like that. Like I don't carry a ton, but enough that I can like refuel and sleep in a bed and clean off each day. Like that's more my pace.
For sure. Like the hut to hut, like fast packing style stuff. I've never done it, but it does seem like super appealing.
It is appealing because your back isn't sore.
and you get a shower, which is usually not the backpacker way, right?
It's pretty affordable if you do it with a group too. I mean, honestly, it's kind of like, why would I not? Like, I don't know. So,
Yeah, you still get to do the whole trail just in a more enjoyable way. Yeah. Joe, when did you do the PCT?
It's been 6 years now since I did a through hike. 2018. Is that more than 6 years? And yeah, I grew up. I was a Boy Scout, so they kind of introduced me to backpacking as like a hobby or thing to do. And then I remember I did a trip out on the Appalachian Trail, and I met this smelly hiker guy, and he was doing this. He wasn't even a through. He was doing just like a 500-mile section. And I remember it like kind of blew my mind, like what? People can go that far? So it kind of planted the seed, all those like scouting trips that I did as a kid. And I was working a job out in San Francisco, and I just remember thinking like it wasn't for me, but being a guy from Kansas, like getting into tech, moving to San Francisco, and I was miserable. And I was like, how do I get out of this? And that dream of through hiking like was definitely there. I would escape from work. I would go hike up Mount Tam. And I would think about like, maybe I should do it. Maybe I should go on a through hike. And so, yeah, I realized I was turning 30 the next year. So I was like, no, this is the year. I have to do it before I'm 30. And so I just applied for a permit, the long distance permit for the PCT. And I remember I got the lottery time that I had applied for. And I was like, okay. So then like suddenly my like brain of like made the checklist, like schedule quitting your job, schedule like moving, and like sell all your possessions, like move your stuff into your sister's house, like just like all these things to like get rid of all my possessions, I didn't have a car, all the things. And then the final thing was like scheduling like friend drop you off at the Mexico border. Like that was like, and then life, once you start a through hike, is all about just hiking. Like it gets super simple then, which is
so simple.
I was gonna
really
say,
neat experience.
I feel like all those steps like can probably be really scary and big, but do you feel like it ended up being really liberating, or what was your mindset going into it?
Oh yeah, my mindset I think was like just trying to be open to the experience because I knew that I didn't really know what it was going to be like. So I never really hiked over 15 miles in a backpacking trip. And I never backpacked more than a week at one time. And I also weighed like 205 pounds. So I wasn't a runner. So my background like is not running. I was like weightlifting a lot. And so anyways, I just like big transformations like had to probably take place if I wanted to finish, but I didn't really know what like exactly, I didn't have all the answers. So like my approach was just being open, like to like figuring it out, meeting people that know how to do it. And that's kind of the fun part. Like when I romanticize and think back about like that long through hike, there's a ton of beautiful things that I got to experience, but a lot of it was like the friends, like I'm still friends with people that I hiked with that season. And they kind of introduced me to being like a through hiker. I remember this gal, her trail, I don't know her real name, but her trail name was Heaps. And I remember she was the first person that walked 30 miles with me in a day, like cool experiences like that. I remember we hiked Mount Shasta, which is actually not on the PCT. And I just remember the guys I were hiking with are like, yeah, we can do it. And they're just like the openness to adventure and like problem solving, all the things we had to do, like get to the trailhead of Mount Shasta, climb this 14er, like understand the routes and just all this adventure. It's just like problem solving and figuring it out and being open to like not knowing what you don't know. And anyways, it was a really good summer. And what was neat is I started that I didn't know anyone that through hiked. I didn't know any ultra runners. And on that through hike, that's when I first listened to Zach Bitter on a podcast. And that's when I first heard of Courtney DeWalter and like all of these. So like that experience planted the seed to then become an ultra runner, which is kind of cool how it's like a domino effect. Like this
that
experience
kind of shaped like who you are as a, do you think the PCT shaped who you are as a runner today a little bit?
I think so. I think because like if I had to like prioritize like my style of running, I'm definitely in it for like the adventure and the experience even more than like competition. Like when I start on a 100-mile race, like, yeah, I want to be as competitive as I can, but I also like want to like absorb the experience as much as possible. So that's like, I want to see what the aid stations are like. I want to see like what the peaks are on the route. I want to see like how low is the low going to feel, right? Like all those like experiences that like are unknown because you just don't know, like, you don't know, like, is the low going to be there? How long is this going to last? Right.
Yeah.
And then you get to the aid station, you eat a quesadilla and you're like, I'm back. Like,
person. Yeah. You're there for the journey. What about you, Sierra? Are you more there for the competition or are you there for the adventure or both?
I mean, it kind of depends. Like the objectives for this summer, I mean, went from being competitive to like, do whatever you can sort of thing. But I mean, I think we're all ultimately in it for the experience to some extent. I do also really like the competitive aspect of it as well. But I don't just do things that I think I'm going to be best at. Like, I don't know. I knew I wasn't going to be the best at Wyoming, and I definitely was far from that, but I can still finish hard things. I just don't train specific to it necessarily. And I don't know, those are the ones I'm doing just for the experience. Like Wyoming was strictly experience and Hardrock qualifier and not to try to be competitive. So
versus something like the USATF, like 24 or 100 mile or 24 hour. Yeah. Different ball game.
Yeah. And I feel more comfortable with those things too. I mean, like, it's just more measurable, I think, and just like calculated than most races too. Like even Javelina, I know I didn't like hit the nail on the head last year, but I think if I come back, I could really do something good out there. And, like I don't know, I come from the Midwest, so I just, technical is not my strong suit. And I think desert technical I have a better shot at because I prefer it, and that's what we have. Charleston, I like the mountains, but I'm just really clumsy, and I don't know. I struggle with the rocks and all that up there and the steep drop offs and everything. So,
Sierra, I wanted to ask your first result ever on ultra sign ups from 2015. It is the Woodstock Festival 50K. There's no information on there. Can you tell us like where that's at, why you signed up for it?
There's no information.
I mean, I'm clicking on it. I tried to look earlier, and I don't know. There's no information on the event on ultra sign up except for just the result.
Yeah, so that's in Michigan. I think it's like Pickney, Michigan. I used to live in Michigan for like 18 years, and then I moved to Ohio for school, so like barely over the border. And when I was in college, I did some marathons, and that was like, I think right when I would have graduated or like after that. I don't know, like that race wasn't a Boston qualifying race because it was like trail or something, and it was only like $5 more to do the 50K.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, like let's just try it, and then we can say we ran an ultra. I don't know. And it was okay. Like it was dirt trail, like Michigan trails, at least southern, not northern. Like UP can get real technical and nasty, but it was just like a dirt path at a park or something. And it was loops because you can do, I think they have like up to 100 or 200 at that race too. And luckily I just did the 50K, and I wasn't like set on trail running at that point because Michigan trail running is a lot different than out here, but I did it. So I don't know. I think I got third. I don't remember.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And then it was like over a year until your next trail race.
Yeah. I broke my foot.
Okay.
In I think it was the year I moved out to Vegas. So 2016, I had like 3 solid months that I couldn't run. I almost like displaced the bone in my second metatarsal. So I was forced some time off.
Damn.
Yeah, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it's time to move into our rapid fire questions. I don't know if you guys have listened to our podcast before. I just ask a whole bunch of like short questions. If you guys want to just give a short answer on them. So we'll start off. What's your guys' go-to shoe? And Sierra, I know you're
For trail or road? Or both?
Both.
Yeah, both. Why not?
Road would definitely be the R1. I really like the R135 that they came out with for Badwater too. It's like an iteration of that that's lighter. So, but like standard shoe, the R1. And then trail, I really like the H1. And those are both Mount to Coast.
Sweet.
I would go H1 Mount to Coast, which is that hybrid shoe, and then I also like the Hoka Challenger.
Nope.
And then I know because I have wide feet, so that comes in wide.
And let's see, if you guys were to race with go on a long run with anyone, dead or alive, who would you pick?
Oh gosh. I think it's hard because like I don't know that you necessarily know who you're gonna like going on a long run with until you've done it. So it's like I'm not one of those people that's like obsessed with anybody in particular that I'm like, oh, I really want to like spend 4 hours with that person. But I don't know. That's a weird question.
I think it would be cool to like, because like we have the time travel superpower of this question, I would pick like George Washington or something, you know. Like,
That's pretty good.
like go on like a trail run with a historical figure and just see like, are they huffing and puffing, or like is your fitness like comparable to somebody like that started the Revolutionary War, you know, like
Yeah.
Yeah, my mind goes to like conspiracy theories. I'd be like, I want to run with JFK. I want to know.
you could get all the scoop then.
Yeah.
I want to run with the marathon guy, I think, from Greece. I don't know.
Like
I think
who ran the first marathon?
Yeah.
And died? Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Probably pretty
yeah,
tough.
as long as he doesn't die with me, that'd be fine.
He probably didn't have a naked belt though. Like that would probably help.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I think that would have game changer. Okay, and then what is, if you guys have like an unhinged or like unpopular running take, what is it?
Unhinged.
What do you mean by this?
Unpopular.
Well,
Like-
I like
What do we do that everybody else hates, or like
yeah, or
that's
like
weird?
like one person I asked this question to, and they said they wanted to ban toilet paper from like people from using toilet paper on trail runs.
Or like what do we do that's unhinged on running?
Either what you do
I mean, I
or
use
what
like
you think.
construction site porta potties when I'm running that I'm definitely not supposed to, or like I've used a construction site porta potty in somebody's yard before.
Nice.
I don't know if it's unhinged, but I like full sandwiches like on big trail runs.
That
So,
is
like,
unhinged, dude.
It's unhinged, right?
No,
but
that's
I like
normal.
I like a summit sandwich. That's my unhinged. I feel like
No, I
that's
love
actually
that.
very normal. But
I feel like it's
Depends
normal.
on the size. I mean, if we're talking like an 18-incher, that's pretty unhinged. But like a little,
well, yeah, I would say I would do it for the whole trail run, but I might like save the other half for the drive home.
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah,
Or like a
see?
foot long's pretty unhinged. Like
I see people who
6-incher,
bring
I
like
don't know.
Chipotle burritos, and those things are, massive. So, but yeah, no, I mean, I unhinged running takes. Mine would probably be like, I used to eat just mayonnaise packets. So,
Oh,
yeah.
That's pretty wild.
at least it wasn't a 30-year-old goo packet like that. I just saw a guy do that yesterday on Instagram. Like that's not good.
Yeah, I sent Summer something about this guy eating packaging peanuts. I didn't even know that those were edible,
Oh.
but apparently it's
Oh.
like potatoes and
It's
cornstarch.
It's like starch. It's just a starch.
Yeah,
I
and
think
so he
some
ate
of
'em
them,
for
you
a
probably want to be
half
careful.
marathon.
I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know about that, but
I don't know. I've been down in expired goos because we have like the aid station here, and right when the goos expire, we get to take them home. So that would probably be mine. Is that goos don't expire? That's my unhinged running take. Real quick, Joe, what kind of sandwich should you go to for a pocket
Yeah.
sandwich?
I was just thinking, like, if I'm going to like a shop, like Capriati's, like I actually like the Thanksgiving sandwich where they
Oh,
do like
dude.
stuffing, cranberry
Wasabi.
sauce, turkey.
Yep.
That
Yep.
like hits, especially on a trail ride. It would totally hit. Yeah, that's what I would go with.
I had a friend of mine bring me one on like the middle of the Arizona Trail. It was exactly that. It had like cranberry sauce and turkey and stuffing, and I will never forget it as long as I live. It is so good.
Yeah.
awesome. Well, I think those are all my rapid fire questions I ask, unless you have any more.
No, I mean, well, just curious, just real quick, what's your guys' favorite local trail spot, local trail system?
definitely where the See You Next Tuesday route is,
Mhm.
out by Red Rock. When I bought a place in Vegas, I made sure to do it near that because it's really pretty and it's really runnable. And so, like outside of Red Rock, like Calico Basin area
Yeah.
for me.
No, I would say that's mine as well. Red Rocks, like the west side of Vegas, amazing trail run, amazing climbing too. So it's just such a pretty place. Like every week that we get a run in, it's like our backdrop. So
It's
it's really cool.
awesome out there. I got to go out with you guys last time I was out there for the first time, and so cool. I mean, you got like road options, you got trail options, you got steep, you got flat, all pretty. Yeah.
I'm surprised more runners don't live here.
Honestly.
Don't tell
Well, there's a
them.
few.
Don't-
All right.
Yeah, hidden gem. Cool. Well, thank you guys. We appreciate having both of you on. And yeah, we're excited to see what you guys have coming up next.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
All right. See ya.
Yep.